Hey fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk. The number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Why am I saying because I'm invested. I mean, I don't care if it's the off season. I'm still invested. There's still stuff going on. We moved Wentz, and now we have other questions to answer. I put a poll question out there on our IG page. I want all of you guys to go and answer the IG question. I put it up there, and I didn't even put it in the comments up there. But I'll give it to you straight. We understand that we're in a rebuild. So I was asking you guys, how do you want this rebuild to look? Do you want it to look like a full-blown tank job rebuild, like Hinkie with the Sixers, where you're just you're trying to get the best draft picks you can get? Because it's going to be a couple years, right? It's going to be at least 2 or 3 years. Right, at least that's my perception of it. So how do you want this rebuild to look? Do you want to go full tank mode where we're just trying to get the highest draft pick and dump everybody that's of worth right now so that we can build this thing from the bottom up? Or do you want it to be more competitive where we keep some of these names that we probably know we need to part with now? We keep some of them, and we try to add to that along with adding some young talent through the draft and stay competitive. So do you want to stay competitive, or do you want to go full out tank mode? So that's the question for tonight. If you want to answer that, just go to our IG page. Is at Eagles Talk on IG. Go to the page, our story. In our story, you'll see the poll asking that question. Right now, I think it's like 80 something percent stay competitive, and 14% tank. So, and that's on IG. On Facebook, it's the opposite. It's 60% tank and 40% stay competitive. So let me know what you guys are thinking about out there. In the meanwhile, we have my co-host on here, Pat Sandlin
You.
and Nichelle. What's up? And as you can see, these are I left our names up there because these are our IG handles. If you want to follow us, and I talk back and forth. I just as you can see, this past weekend, I just went out and had some drinks with one of our followers this weekend, and I got roasted for it, but that's all
Yes, you
right. But
did. Yes, you did.
yeah,
As you should.
but that's okay. I'm a grown man. I took it. So anyway. Yeah, just that's our IG handles up there if you want to follow us. We do interact and stuff like that. But getting to my co-hosts, Nichelle and Pat. Welcome, guys. Not a whole lot happening, but still a lot of football to talk about because there's a lot that has to happen before the new season comes up. We did release Djax this week, so that's just one of the names that you guys might as well get ready to hear some more familiar faces that are going to be walking out the door. I've even heard about Jason Kelsey possibly not being released. So this is going to be a new look team, and I can't tell in which direction they're going as of yet. I don't know if they're going full tank mode or going to stay competitive. We're going to have to see what how the other shoe drops on this off season, but. Um, it looks like they may be going full blown tank mode. I don't know. They're letting Kelsey go. I mean, unless he's let them know that he may be a candidate for retirement or something like that. That's big to me. That's huge to me.
Yeah, and before we go get deep into, I want to take my shot and do a start the quarter.
Yeah, Pat has to start his shot. I'm gonna do a shot maybe first half, but I'm gonna be sipping on my Shiraz.
Yeah.
Shiraz. That's how you pronounce it. Shiraz. I like that.
Surprise! Wow,
Hmm.
wow, wow.
All right, red
I'm
wine.
seeing different.
Okay.
I'm seeing a different side of the Dark Knight right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. So as we start up, you are watching Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So this week, I'm going to continue to do the Ciroc Apple. That's not bad. I got some Kettle One here too, but that's kind of. I'm not going to speak in case they want to, in case they want to pour this later on. And I got some tequila here, and that's one of my favorite shot drinks is tequila. But I'm gonna stick to the Ciroc. I'm only gonna do a half, so I'll do Ciroc. Pat, what are you doing? The Jameson
Of course, Jameson, Irish whiskey,
and Nichelle, what are you doing? And she's doing the
Tito.
Tito's. All right. Tito's burns my throat. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. All right. Okay. All right. So
Come
here we
on,
are
man.
down the hatch. Three, two, one.
You're now listening to the first quarter.
All right, first quarter. So that's the question of the night. You guys make sure you go to IG. Let me put that up there on the so you know what our IG handle is. There it is. All right, so it's at Eagles Talk. Go to at Eagles Talk. Follow us if you're not following us, and make sure you vote on the poll. Um, but what do you want? Let me go to the guys in the comments in the room. Kevin Johnson, first one in the room tonight. Good evening, Eagles Talk fan, repping from the DMV. What's up, Kevin? Thanks for joining us. Christopher Burton is in the house. What's up, Bird Gang? What's up? Richard Boo is third. What's up, Eagles fan? What's up, Rich? Tina Holden. What's up, Tina? Hey, hey.
What's going on,
Um,
Tina?
Tony Burren is there. Good day, Eagles fans. KL
From down
Smith. What's
under.
up, y'all? Love listening to y'all every week. Fly Eagles Fly, always from St. Louis, Missouri. That's what's up, man.
That's what's
Moses
up.
is in the
What's
house.
up?
He says, "What's up, homies? What's up, Moses?"
What's going
Ricky
on?
Long with the cutting of Jeffrey and Jackson. Dude, you see the Eagles signing T.Y. Hilton.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I mean, we have to talk about some. I mean, the free agents are going to be out there plentiful, right? And at first I was thinking like, there's no way in the world we're signing free agents. But then I had to rethink like we are going to sign free agents. It's just It's just the type of free agent we need to sign. We need to sign young free agents, of course. We're not going to be
Hmm.
signing anybody near 30 right now because the rebuild will not be in effect by the time they, you know what I mean? We have to be strategic in signing free agents. So some nice mid 20-year-olds maybe, but we don't have a lot of money to break the bank on them either. So,
Man, listen, the only free agent I can see us signing, and we would love to have him on our team is JJ Watt. But
oh
he's
yeah,
not
but
coming
he's
here.
not coming
He's not coming here.
here.
Even though he's not that 20-year-old guy you're looking for, he still has been productive when healthy. He would be a game record along with Fletcher Cox and older Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat, turning into a monster. He would be great on a defensive front, but I'm just streaming.
All right, don't mind fuck yourself. It's not happening. Okay, all right. That's not happening. So you might as well
All
get
right,
that out
straight
the
no
way.
chaser today. That's how we
All right.
doing it. Okay.
Oh, I need a drop for that. I need a drop for that.
Nah, we might as well get off. That's not happening. But all right, as far as the survey, I mean the poll question there, give me your thoughts on it. What do you want to see? You want to see the full tank job, the Sam Hinkie. Just we want to get the best draft picks we have until we get enough talent in the room, and then we'll be competitive. Or you want us to stay competitive and build along the way, sort of like the rebuild we had before. I mean, when Chip Kelly, although we weren't devoid of talent then, we still had
Mhm.
a little talent then. But that rebuild was just adding some pieces, and it kind of happened quicker than we thought it was supposed to happen, and it kind of threw everything off. But we got a Super Bowl out of it, so I don't care. But do you want to see that type of rebuild where Howie kind of restructured the roster? And he tried to bring in a young talent. He just doesn't have a good picking finger, so that didn't work. But he tried to mix in adding veterans with bringing in the young guys, and it actually worked. We won a Super Bowl. You want to see that again, or you want to see this thing broken all the way down? What do you think, Michelle?
I I don't think I'm ready for a full rebuild, to be honest with you. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot to go through. I mean, we're already kind of traumatized after this past season. So to go through a rebuild is a whole nother game of mental gymnastics. I mean, I don't know if it's fully necessary. It may be. It could be wishful thinking on my part, but I would just like to see them make smarter moves in terms of free agency, developing some of the talent that we actually have, and coaching them into better players. And instead of doing the whole trust the process thing, I can't. I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy as a fan to deal with an entire rebuild right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, listen, we're 3 years removed from the ultimate goal from every single Eagles fan period born. To go on a rebuild 3 years removed from that goal. No, we need to stay competitive. We don't need to do what the Cincinnati Bengals or the Jacksonville Jaguars or the New York Jets have done in tanking this to get draft picks. We need to keep our foot on the pedal. This new coaching staff need to show this city what they have in mind with this team. Whatever kind of team that they construct, these guys need to come out, guns blazing. We need to go into this free agency, get who we need to get, that our money allows us to get. They're saying KJ Wright. There are some other guys, Denzel Perryman, inside linebacker from the Chargers. We need to be, aggressive. I say stay aggressive.
What we can what you said we need to go out and get free agents for what we
Yeah,
can
yeah, I
afford.
did.
Oh,
I'm gonna
this
say it.
this just takes me
Yeah,
back
Dante,
to a
have we
line and
been
one.
have we
How
been in
much
this
how
situation
how
once?
much is it
Beer
for one
budget,
rib?
champagne taste. How much
Yeah,
for one rib?
exactly.
Hold
How
it in
much?
my hand.
Yeah, pour it in my hand.
More than
How
my
much?
hand,
How
huh?
much is it for one rib? for one
Yeah,
linebacker.
yeah.
How much is it for one
But
linebacker
but but
that
you
was
got to see
drafted
something.
in the fourth round?
All
We
right,
can't afford anybody.
so you're gonna say that, right? You're gonna say port in my hand. You're gonna say the one rib line, but you gotta realize when Chris Rock took out his money, what did he take out? A wad of money. He could have
He
brought
did.
more.
He
He
did.
Yeah,
brought
He
he
it
did.
brought
did.
more. He was taking out $1 at a time. All right.
All right,
So
well,
that's
we're not that. We don't have that wad of money. We trying to cut salaries, and somebody said with Alshon going, Alshon is not officially gone yet.
March
Just to make
14th.
that clear,
New league
March
year
14th.
starts. Yeah.
Yeah, he will, in all likelihood, he'll be cut, but he's not officially gone yet. We have officially gotten rid of Djax, and there's talk. Well, if Alshon is going, it's not going to be a huge surprise. We know that's coming. The surprise was Kelsey. Hearing Kelsey may be released was kind of surprising and shocking to me. But that's gonna set the stage for what we can do in free agency. What the contracts or the salary that we shed is going to really dictate what we're going to do in the offseason as far
Hmm.
as free agents and stuff like that. If we're getting rid of heavy contracts like Kelsey or older players like BG and their huge contracts, Hargrave or Fletcher Cox. If we're moving names like that, then we'll have some money to go into free agency. And then again, I think that has to be very strategic if you go into free agency because we need young players with talent but it's a balance in that because we got to have some veterans in there. We can't.
Hmm.
I'm not in the. Let me just give my opinion. I'm not in the full Sam Hinkie rebuild. I think that you have to keep a winning tradition or some of the culture as a part of the team, and some of those veterans provide that. So I think you're going to have to hold on to some of them to help with the transition because this is going to be a transition. We don't have a Malcolm Jenkins anymore there. But if we did, this would be a perfect time to allow him to stay. Somebody like that to stay. Somebody that's a strong voice that can teach the younger players how to be what the Eagles culture is about. You have to have that. So I'm not for that total get rid of everybody that's worth something and then strip it all the way down. I'm not for that. I'm for trying to rebuild through building this roster through the draft mostly. And if the free agents are going to be signed, make sure they make sense. Let's just make sure they make sense. J.J. Watt really just doesn't make sense to
All right, Hassan Reddick.
me.
Hassan Reddick from Temple. There
Yeah,
you
he
go.
makes sense. Now he's young
He's
enough. He
he's
makes
20
sense.
something.
Yeah. I'd
And I
like to
don't.
keep BG and Kelsey for the reasons that you just stated, Dante, about having some veterans in the locker room. I mean, out of all the people that can go, Cox, Alshon, Djack, I get it.
We can't get
Yeah.
rid of Cox, man. I'm sorry, you can't get rid of
I
Fletcher.
know. I know.
I know we were looking at his contract and say, you know what, we can restructure it. They have a way to do. Listen, we was in cap Cal a couple years ago, and we would say no way in the world we're going to even have money to get certain people. And what I mean, I'm not a fan of Howie, but he was able to get this team under the cap enough where we actually got free agents. That was the time that we was able to get Alshon Jeffrey, and we was like, how the heck can we get these Alshon Jeffrey, Garrett Blunt, Chris Long with what money? And we made it happen. So I mean, don't count the accounting out.
I'm not going to count him out. Although everyone in this tri-state area and probably around the country that are Eagles fans are calling for Howie's head, and he should be on a short
Man,
leash
he's been
That's a
trending
immediately.
different
all
quarter.
week. He's
Oh
been
man,
trending all week with
No doubt.
the heat and the pain. And shout out to my Temple brother, David Wong. Yeah, I mean, we would love to have, Hassan Reddick come back home. Come on, you
Oh
know.
yeah, definitely that. How
See you
about
all day around here. So, and the added bonus that he's from my hometown, Camden. Don't get it twisted. It would be a nice little party to have him back in the fold.
Yeah, but I think money. It's going to take money, but that I think that will be a wise investment. But it will take money to bring him here. He's not coming in on a rookie contract or those
yeah.
type of numbers. He's a proven commodity now, and he's
Hmm.
made a great name for himself. So,
Can
but
I
he's
can I
not
say
one
one
that I
thing?
would kick out the bed. He's not
Can
one I would kick out the bed.
You're right. And think about he's a team player. He's been great at times. He's been mediocre at times. But at the end of the day, he gives you a better chance in the middle when he's playing. Um, I just want to say this.
True.
I saw a question up there by David Wong. That's why we got to draft the offensive lineman from Oregon. Listen, man, I don't want any more Pac-12 players. No more Pac-12 players, all right? Especially offensive linemen. We got an offensive lineman right now that was so scared of his own shadow that he said, you know what, I tore my bicep. So no more offensive linemen from the Pac-12. Let's if we're going to get offensive linemen, if you're looking for offensive linemen, let's go to the Big Ten. Let's go to the SEC. Let's get these guys that play competitive football. I'm not saying that the Pac-12 is not competitive, but at the end of the day, they haven't been really good in going forward with us actually.
All right, David Wan, go into some comments now. David Wan says O line and D line is where you win chips, and that was Howie's philosophy going into when they allowed him out of the little corner office when Chip Kelly left. When they allowed him back into the big boys room, that was his main focus, was building in the trenches, and that was a key to us winning the Super Bowl back then. So I wonder if he's going to go back to that formula. Um, he's put a lot of money into the defensive line, and that's probably going to be
Mhm.
broken up this off season because a lot of our money is tied up into that defensive line. Fletcher Cox, Hargrave, and Malik Jackson. We people expect Malik Jackson to be released also, but between those three, they're like in the top 10, 15. All three of them in the top 15 highest paid defensive linemen. So that's probably going to change a little bit. The offensive line. Well, look at this. I don't think the team is going to be as bad as it was this year. I don't think because one, I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to play as bad as Carson Wentz did last year. That's number one. Number two, I don't think. Well, we have some return. We have some healthy linemen returning, and that was a key to us sucking last year. Was no offensive line. Well, that's going to be better. I believe that's going to be a better situation coming into next year with Brandon Brooks coming back, Lane Johnson being fully healthy. I don't know about Jason Kelsey because we just heard the reports, but um, Malata on one side. Um, Herbig seemed to be a player. Driscoll seemed to be a player. I think that offensive line is going to be vastly improved along with the quarterback play. And we still have Miles Sanders. Our wide receivers are still a question mark. We don't know about Rager. Um,
Mm.
we know Ertz is probably out of here. Goddard is a player. We know he's going. I think that because we talked about it last year. We talked about it during the season. We said, what if a more proven offensive mind had this same offensive unit? Do you think they would do better? And to a man, I remember we all said yes, they probably would do better. Well, if they would do better with what we had last year, this guy might do better with those returning players coming in. This new guy, Sirianni, I'm talking about. He may
Mm.
do better. So I don't think that we're going to be a 3-8. I don't think we're going to duplicate what we did this year. I think we'll be a little bit better. Whether we'll be a top 10 picking team next year is something that remains to be seen. But let me know. What do you guys think? What do you think? We're going to be at the bottom of the league, or are we going to make improvement over what we had this year?
I think we'll be slightly better. I see us at least winning 6 games. But I mean, you can't call it until we see what we do in the off season. We don't even know what our roster is going to be. So all this is total speculation. We have the opportunity to be better than we were last year, or Howie can pull another F up and we can have another 4-win season. But I don't we notoriously don't do that 2 years in a row. That's
No, we
not
don't.
that doesn't happen here. So let's be clear about that. That
Mhm.
even with changes and turmoil and the dysfunction of our organization, we never have seasons like this twice in a row. So we definitely will have a better season. How better really is the question. What kind of team we're going to put together? Is it going to be a team that gets close to the playoff, a team that's just respectable and gets us back to above 500, or if we're going to have a playoff caliber team that can actually make a run? So those are really our options on the table, but none of those are going to be flushed out until after free agency and after the draft to see what we have. And even then, we'll still be putting the pieces of the puzzle together until summer. So ask me in August.
All right.
You know
Well,
what?
Ask me in August.
Everything that Nichelle just said, it's the same thing. I'm agreeing with 100%.
All right.
Ask
Well,
me in
let's end this
August.
quarter. I'm sorry.
And that's the end of the
So
quarter.
you want a corner, huh?
Yeah, corner. I'm about to go to the corner
I
on him.
want a
All right.
corner. I want an old lineman.
Yeah. All right. So you're watching Eagles Talk, listening to Eagles Talk. By Eagles fans, for Eagles fans, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. I am doing the Ciroc Apple. My partner is doing the Jameson, and Michelle is doing the Tito's. Tito's handmade. Why do they say handmade? They make it by the hand.
This
Handmade
this
vodka.
my last shot too, because I got to finish cooking dinner and I can't do that all swazy.
Yeah. All right.
What?
We do it all
All
the
right.
time. We cook it ways.
Yeah.
It gets some more
I
sauce
want
in
my
it.
food to taste good.
It will taste good one way or another.
All right, here we are. Everybody, let me know what you're drinking out there also. Down the hatch to our Philadelphia Eagles, 3-2-1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, I had a question. I can't remember it now after two shots, but it was just you guys just touched on it too in the last
To wait
in
till
your
August to
last.
figure
Howie
out what kind of
Roseman.
team or
Yeah,
Yeah,
Howie
what's up? Howie
Roseman.
Roseman.
Yeah, well, let's
Howie
talk about
Rose.
Howie Roseman. I think that was it anyway. But Howie
Howie
Roseman,
got
people
must
are
go.
calling.
what would Howie do?
They calling
What?
for
What
WWE.
did
his
do you want me to go back over what Howie didn't do?
Howie
Howie had the
didn't.
opportunity after the Super Bowl to solidify this team for the next 5 to 10 years. But him being so selfish and so hell bent on being the man and not listening to his scouts put us in a situation where we got 38-year-old offensive linemen trying to play guard and going back to left tackle. You're making these mishaps, you're making these mistakes, and you putting these guys in harm's way. We had DK Metcalf. No, let's go get JJ Arthur-Whiteside. We had Jaden Rager. Don't get me wrong. Jaden might be a good receiver in the long run, but you could have got JJ. You could got JJ Jefferson. Jefferson. You go look back at the second round of last year. Just go and pick a quarterback to put your quarterback who you just gave $100 million in a predicament where you say, you know what, you got to fight for your job because we select this guy in the second round. Howie is the issue. No, it wasn't Carson. It wasn't Doug. Howie is the cancer. Howie must go.
All right,
Wow.
I don't totally agree with that. I mean, but I'll give. I mean, I'm going to be devil's advocate here. That Howie has put together one more Super Bowl winning team than you have.
Of course he has. Of course. I mean, listen.
I mean, does that count for
You
anything?
you can't tell me. So Kanye
We
West.
talk about
Kanye West.
we
Kanye
talk about
West.
quarterbacks.
Right?
We talk about coaches. We talk about how rare it is to win a Super Bowl. Well, how much rare it is for the GM to put together a Super Bowl winning team, and
All
how
right.
he can proudly say that he is one of the history of GMs that has put together, and he basically built that team. He put that team. Albeit I think it was a lot of luck involved, but his free agent signings that offseason were immaculate. We all marveled at how he got Carson Wentz out of the what he did and the free agents that he brought in, Malcolm Jenkins and Pat Robinson and Jay Ajayi, and it was just miraculous. Chris Long, everyone he brought in, he just hit on every free agent and even some of the rookies he hit on, even to the point he brought in Nick Foles. Let's not forget he signed Nick Foles. He was just signed right before that Super Bowl year. So you can say everything you want, and I agree with a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. I think that he has a problem evaluating talent, and we missed on DK Metcalf, and we missed on Justin Jefferson, but we weren't the only ones that missed. It was other teams out there that missed also. We weren't the only
Let's
one
put it
looking
this way.
for a wide receiver and didn't pick DK Metcalf.
Dark
It
Knight.
was other people that chose other receivers that year, and they didn't pick DK Metcalf.
You know what? You might have one or two valid points in this whole situation. All right,
He gave you
but
two.
but The
One in
sun
a
shines on it,
possible.
but the sun shines on a dog ass once in a blue moon too. All right, so
Right.
you know, if you go around this league in 2017, 2018, we would say, oh man, Howie's a genius. We didn't realize how much strain he put on his team with some of these contracts, some of these older players. The players that came through from 2015, from Chip Kelly to 2016 to Doug Peterson, they started acting like a family. It wasn't all Howie Roseman bringing some free agents in. He brought in three good free agents. Well, I say yeah, four good free agents. They're Garrett Blunt, Ajayi, Chris Long, and Alshon Jeffrey. But that wasn't the whole team. That wasn't the whole team. The whole team was gelled together over the course of the years and over practice. They worked together to become a family and to play for each other, not for the GM, but play for the head coach and play for each other.
Hmm.
You have the opportunity to go back to the Super Bowl the following year. Then after that, we went to the second round of playoffs. We lost that game. Retool the next year. We don't retool. We don't retool. You keep
When,
guys on this
here's
team.
a here's a comment. When Howie sold Sam Bradford for a first rounder,
He
was
sold
you a Howie fan?
everybody.
Was you
He
a
sold
fan of that
everybody.
move right there?
The devil smiles at you too.
I'm just asking. Was you a fan of that? Because
everybody
there's
was a
been
everybody was a
there was
fan
like
of that.
three off seasons in a row where I was like, Howie won the off season again.
How
He
he
won
needs
it
to
again.
stick to
And then the third
his
one was the Super
position.
Bowl year. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of Howie winning the offseason. I want that to translate into games on the field. And it happened to be that season that it all came together and he won the Super Bowl. But Howie has done a lot of good things in the offseason that we have always championed, and we've always given him the crown during the offseason. Howie's gotten us. We just won the offseason. We got Nomney. We got such and such. We sold Sam Bradford for a first rounder and a third rounder. We didn't get a first rounder for Carson Wentz, and we sold Sam Bradford. Howie's the guy that did that. He got rid of Sam Bradford and got us a first round pick that helped us
All
build
right,
that Super Bowl
all
team.
right.
Are
Let
y'all
me
wait a
let.
minute? Are y'all finished? Y'all finished?
Yeah, I'm
So,
good.
we
Y'all
sorry.
finished?
We sorry. I'm sorry.
Y'all finished?
We're having a pissing
Look,
match right now.
let me you are. You are. And I'm sitting here with my umbrella. Um let me wrap up the Howie talk. Look, because Howie won a Super Bowl, this team has won a Super Bowl, they're still on that. Clearly Howie and Lori have some idea that they think they have the formula to put together a Super Bowl team. This is what I know about coaches and administrators and directors from little league through the NFL. Once they win a chip or win more than one chip or more than one conference championship, you can't tell them nothing. They already think
No.
they already think that they know better, and we're just fans yelling into the ether because they're not willing to reevaluate and say, all right, maybe we could be a little bit better. No, they won that chip. Let me go back to doing our old ways. That's why we need more lady coaches and more lady owners, because we like to evaluate and actually
Yeah,
upgrade our
too much,
things.
y'all, man. Cause
Yeah, maybe too
I go
much, but
clothes
maybe
shopping with
maybe we
y'all.
would
Y'all be
bring
like,
that balance. Maybe we would bring that balance because right now clearly they don't think they're doing anything wrong,
all
and
right,
they're going to
off
keep on
topic
doing
here.
what they want to do.
Why, if we going shoe shopping, why I gotta take 5 hours? That's why I mean, like,
It don't take me
why?
5 hours. I've already
Why?
shopped online before I got to the store. What's
Oh
what?
my goodness!
No,
Why
I
we
don't have
just
time for
can't go
that.
get what we came for?
And
Like
but I
I
would I
am.
wouldn't even take you with me. What?
You know what?
No,
I'm
I'm not going with
newlywed.
you. Get out
I'm
of here. We're
newlywed.
going to have
I'm
drinks
not
with my
talking about
girls, and
shopping.
I'll go without you.
you
Yeah,
can't
but
I'm
talk
not.
no.
about something.
I'm not going to
Seriously,
talk about shopping. I'm newlywed.
seriously, a
And
lot of this is ego because we did win the Super Bowl. A lot of
yeah.
it is be so
Hmm.
so that front office thinks they know how to put together the coaching and the player staff,
Yep,
and because they
yep.
already won a chip, because they had such a long run with Andy Reid, so they're a little complacent, and when things aren't going exactly as they should be for us to put on a winning product on the field, they're not pulling out anything new. They're still constantly reverting back to their old ways. So I don't know what we expect at this point. We kind of just kicking a dead horse at this point.
Yeah, I want to go back to a question right now since we're kicking that dead course. The
All right.
question was put on by YouTube. John, was it Sparrow?
Yeah.
He said if we select DK Metcalf, here it is. If we select DK, then we
Yeah.
don't get Miles Sanders. That is totally wrong because we selected Miles Sanders, then we had another second round pick, and that second round pick, who we pick, JJ Arthega-Whiteside. That's why we always dogged JJ Arthega-Whiteside because DK Metcalf went. Let's see, 1, 2. He went 7 picks after we selected JJ Arthega-Whiteside. So we get Miles Sanders and DK.
Right. Well, we hit
That
on
would have been
one, we missed on
nice.
another. That would have been nice.
That
But
would have been
nobody
really
hits
nice.
on everyone. Well,
But
we,
he
no,
looked
I
like
can't
a
defend that. I'm
freaking.
not going to even defend it. I
We
can't
can't.
defend
You're like a
it.
back.
I'm not. I stopped. This is
You
where I
got
stopped.
You can't
I
defend
like
that
to
at
play
all.
devil's
Dante
advocate,
really
but I
on
can't
some
go that
both
far.
sides today. I
Yeah.
don't
You
know what's
can't.
going
You,
on.
I can't
you
do it.
can't
You're right.
defend
He
that.
sucks as a talent evaluator,
He
but
does.
I'm just saying that I can't throw him. I can't throw him totally under the bus because he got us a Super Bowl. I
He
can't
doesn't
do
think
it.
he sucks. He
I
doesn't
just
think he sucks as a
and
talent
exactly that's the
evaluator.
point I'm
Neither does
making, man.
Lori. They all think that they can evaluate the talent and can override anything the coaches say.
Exactly, and it's hard to prove them wrong when they just won a Super Bowl 3 years ago.
It's
It's going
well,
to
the
be
more
hard.
years that go by, the more years it's going to prove them wrong. Like,
You know
Yeah.
okay,
what? I gotta agree with this. Everett put up a great statement. Eagles have a 5-year plan, the front office model. But he put out one before that. Eagles will be a revolving door with a Super Bowl every 5 years. I'll take that. If we win a
I'll
Super
take
Bowl every
that.
five
Shoot.
years, and
Yep.
you beat crap within those 5 years, then that 5th year we win a Super Bowl, I'll take that.
Yep. I will too. Don't get me wrong. I will take that. Definitely. Why
that
are we
doesn't
talking
sound
about the
like fun.
past?
I
That
don't
was
know,
luck.
have enough hair dye for that. Rebuild every 5 years. No,
But it's a
I
championship
don't want to
every
take
5 years. You want to take a
Will we
championship
win
every
the
5 years?
chip? When we win the
Yes,
chip? Why
yes,
can't
every
we
five
get back
years.
to back? Why can't we be a back to
Cause of
back?
Howie.
Yeah, that
I don't
this
have that much time on this planet to be waiting every 5 years for a
You're
chip. I'm
like, you
sorry.
got 55 more summers. You got enough time.
exactly.
Look,
That's why I called for
look.
Doug Peterson's head at the time I
Mm-mm.
called for it. There's no need to wait. Don't give him an extra 2 years just because he wanted. Pat was going with that. Well, you get at least 5 years if you win a Super Bowl.
I
No, this
agreed with
is a
that.
damn. I don't agree with. It's a shit show now. I don't have, like you just said. I don't have all the time in the world. I can't wait. I see this shit burning now. I want to put the fire out now. I don't want to wait another 2 years before I bring out the water hose. I see this shit burning down now. I want to. Let's stop the fire now. So yeah, he had to go. Carson had to go too. It just was a shit show. I know these guys, and people, when I talk to fans of other teams, they all, how do you guys fire the only coach that won you a Super Bowl? Easy.
We're the
We did
Philadelphia
it.
Eagles,
That's
and
just
we
how. Yeah,
do.
you fire them.
If you don't
That's
produce
just.
in the city, you get booed and you get kicked out. That's
Now it's Doug Peterson task to go prove us wrong.
Eagles
You
is
go
the
prove us
cancel
wrong.
culture center of the NFL because the other
wow.
PA team is just the exact opposite of us. They actually hang on to their coaches, good, bad, or
Yeah.
indifferent. And
What they had 3
I,
coaches in the whole franchise history.
but how many championships has the latest coach had? How many rings he
He
got?
has 2, right?
He has two. Oh, well, he has one as a head coach.
No, he
Okay.
has 2. No,
He
you're right.
only
You're
got
right.
one.
Right, one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He got just as
but
many
the
as Doug
difference is
Peterson.
there
They're
that
contenders
their
every
front
year.
office trusts or gives him autonomy over his team. That's
Yeah.
the biggest difference that we see between those two Pennsylvania teams.
Yeah,
Their front office trusts the coach and give him
stop
full
bringing in
autonomy.
coaches you can't give autonomy to then.
They
And
gave
Well,
they and
autonomy
they
to
that's
this coach.
purposely do that so they can sit there and play chess with the players and play dolls with the players. That's what that's all about. Or they would bring on a coach that they could have they were comfortable with giving autonomy to. They're playing
Yeah.
dolls. That's what they are. That's what Harry and Laurie's doing. They're playing dolls.
All right.
You're not Philadelphia guys. You got to go.
I'm going to go. Let me go take a look at the poll and see where it is. The poll question of the night was: How do you want the Eagles to handle this rebuild? Do you want to see a full blown tank job and build through high draft picks, or do you want to see them stay competitive and just add and build through the draft and not go into a total uh, total tank job, a total bottom of the league dweller until we get the players that we need. I'm not for that. I'm for staying competitive and doing it kind of like he did it the last time, with adding key free agents and through the draft and stuff like that. That's the end of the second quarter. Is that the end of the second quarter?
And that's the end
Third.
of the quarter.
No,
I
that's
thought
just
that was
that's
third.
Yes,
always done.
that's the end of the second quarter.
Oh.
All right. So let me.
Yes, I did. Because I had to definitely pour a drink to that one.
All right, we are Eagles Talk. You're listening to. We like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I am doing no more. I'm just
Me
sipping on my
neither.
wine. I'm done.
Same.
Pat is going to carry on the tradition for us. He's going to be doing the Jameson Irish whiskey, and so everybody join Pat. Let him know what you're drinking. Everybody down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, third quarter. I'm still looking for the numbers for the. Where am I? I don't even. Oh, okay.
You're
Okay.
on
So
Eagles Talk by
now it's
Eagles fans for Eagles
75%.
fans.
75% stay competitive. 25% full tank mode. So everybody is in agreement. Nobody wants to go
Well,
full
that's
tank
why
mode.
IG.
Nobody wants to see this
No.
team with another 4 and something record
No,
next
don't
year.
Come
say.
on, they went 4-3-20 in the middle of a pandemic. We don't have time for this. We're already
No, we don't.
stressed as it is. Come
Yeah,
on.
we
No, we
definitely
No.
are
don't.
stressed.
No tank. No tank. Give us something to look forward to. I'm totally
I agree.
opposed to tanking. I can't take any more bad news. No tanking.
Oh, you know that the Facebook post is actually have us 50-50.
50-50 now on the Facebook post.
Yeah,
All right, so
yeah.
everybody
Listen,
Fifty
on.
you
percent of those folks are sadists. They just like living in a painful state. Total
listen, we
sadist.
got we got to
No.
get out that mindset. Every year, regardless of how your team looks, you got to be competitive. You got to go out there
Yeah,
and
it's
compete.
the NFL. You don't tank in
Unless
the NFL. Stop. This is
No,
the
unless
you
it's
don't.
the end of the
NBA.
season, you have nothing to play for but a higher draft pick like we did. Then you go into a tank mode. All right. But besides that, I mean, when you start the season off, you need to be competitive as much as possible until there is basically no more hope for the team doing
That's
anything.
right. That's right. Look,
All
we were
right.
still in it, and we only had 4 games that we won, and we were still in the contention for playoffs. Come
Well,
on
that was
now.
because of the NFC East. Let's just
I
be honest.
know, but
I
The
know.
still,
I know.
any given
we
Sunday
we
is a
talk we
real
talk.
thing. You don't know how quick your position can shift from
Mhm.
week to week to week. You have to be ready to stay competitive. I think trying to tank an entire football season is just unrealistic. It's
Yeah, I mean,
unrealistic.
it's nobody. I'll be honest with you. There's nobody coming out next year's draft that is somebody where the team can say, "Oh, we need this guy," because right now this draft that's coming up, you got a lot of good guys that's going to be in this draft. Next year, it's not going to be the same. It's definitely not going to be as competitive. It's not going to be the de facto number one guy that will help this team out. No, we need to compete in free agency, try to get some good players, get under the cap first, try to get some good players, then go in the draft with the mindset that these players need to contribute. You got to win. Stop winning this off-season thing with free agents. We got to win the draft, man. We got
What
to
po-
win the draft.
Pat, what position do you think is the most fruitful? What position is bearing the most fruit this
Well, you
draft?
got an offensive minded head coach, and they're going to be leaning towards being explosive. So if you're leaning being explosive, you already got a very good running back. You got a good tight end. You need another wide receiver to go with the gimmick wide receiver that you drafted last year, and I mean after that you got to go defense.
But
So
out of all the draft candidates, which Which position has the most
Like the
fruits in it?
most athletic guy. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Like who are
the
the
most top. Let's be top.
is it more O linemen out of this draft? Is it more D linemen? Is it more cornerbacks? Is there more receivers to choose from in this draft? What
It's
has the
actually
most
three
fruit?
positions. It's three positions. It's the quarterback. It's always going to be the quarterback. Then it's the wide receivers and defensive backs. This year, those three positions are very touted. They're very stout in this draft. You got guys that opted out from the offensive side of the ball, as far as wide receivers. You got guys opted out on the defensive side of the ball, as far as cornerbacks. But they're the top guys in this draft. J.C. Horn from South Carolina, Uh, Sean Wade, even though his stock went down from Ohio State, he's still going to be a top defensive back. Patrick Surtain, he's one of the best defensive backs.
Mhm,
Asante Samuel Jr., he's going to be a very
mhm.
good defensive back in this league. Then you go on the offensive side of the ball. You got all four quarterbacks: Trevor Lawrence, Wilson from BYU. You got Lance from North Dakota State, from Carson Wentz old school. Then you got the quarterback from Ohio State.
Justin
But
Fields.
Justin Fields. Then you go right into the wide receivers from that. You got Devontae Smith, won the Heisman last year,
Your
and he
boy.
proved
That's your
that he
boy.
could be a very competitive wide receiver against going in the middle, catching the ball and getting hit and getting back up. Jamar Chase opted out. He is a dynamic wide receiver. He's a guy that reminds me of AJ Brown, who came out with DK Metcalf. He's very physical. He catches the ball with his hands and he gets upfield. Then you got some other guys on that thing. Jason Wilder, even though he got injured, towards the middle of the season, he's going to be the fastest guy in this draft. But don't get it twisted. Just because he's fast doesn't mean he's not going to be a good wide receiver. He has the ability to sink his hips and get in and out of cuts with his speed, unlike the speedy receivers from the previous draft. We, we, we have those positions that have the most fruit: cornerback, wide receiver, and quarterback. Those three positions right there. The other positions, offensive lineman, you have a little bit of offensive lineman that is very touted. You only got one that's probably going to go in the top 15, maybe two. You got two. You got two going to top 15. Far as defensive lineman, you got a few because they're big guys. You're gonna go in the top 15, maybe top 20. You got one linebacker that is we're talking about right now, Mika Parsons, who actually opted out last year, who's probably gonna go in the top 10. Then you look around the rest of the guys. You say, all right, there's nobody else there. It's really nobody else there. So the
Mhm.
guys we need to really be looking at are the key players that we need: cornerback, wide receiver, and I hate to say this, but quarterback. I mean, Trash might be available in the third round. He's the quarterback out of Florida. And they said they need to bring in competition to be competitive. If he's available, then you take him.
All right, I agree with there being four top-notch quarterbacks, but I disagree that that's a position that is plentiful in the draft. I don't think that it is, but there is like four quarterbacks that'll probably be on high on everybody's radar.
So
Now,
I
my
gave you
question is
four. I
this:
gave you four. I left out two others. Mac Jones, who was the third Heisman Trophy runner up. Then you got Trash, who was the Heisman Trophy runner up. There are over two quarterbacks I didn't mention to just now because you just said that. That's six quarterbacks. That's six quarterbacks that could be a first or second round draft pick in this coming draft.
I want a D back. I'm
Yeah, I do
yeah,
too.
but
sticking
I
to
don't.
what I said.
I do too.
I want a D back. I want a D back.
And
Well,
it's
that
another guy.
brings
It's
me
another
to the
corner.
the
Trust
question because
Tyson
there's still.
Campbell, cornerback from Georgia, who's going to be a sleeper that we need. He's a
We
longer
talked
guy too.
about that. Yeah, we
Yep,
talked
he's
about
a
that.
longer guy. I'm sorry, Dante. I just had to throw that out there. You get to the college thing now, so I'm actually starting
I'm
looking at
sorry. I wound
different
him up. I
aspects.
wound him up. My
Well,
bad.
it's all right.
My
It's all right.
bad.
But my question is because there's been some talk about this, that the possibility that the Eagles may take a quarterback with that number 6 pick, or even combine it with another pick and move up and try to get the quarterback if they have their eye on a quarterback. Because I
I
don't know if they're completely sold with Jalen Hurts. So what do you
Hmm.
guys think about that? Would you mind if the Eagles, and you guys tell me out there too, that's in the chat room, would you guys be on board if the Eagles went with drafting a quarterback. Let's say a Zach Wilson, because I'm hearing that they're high on him. Let's say
No,
a Zach Wilson falls to them at number 6, or someone else. Are
no,
you guys on board with that or what?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you go get something in the later rounds and develop him, that's cool. Not with our number 6 pick. I think after all the BS that we've went through this year, and as you let Jalen go out and do media tours and all this other nonsense, and it's in the press that he's working out, with the receivers, and trying to keep some, camaraderie amongst the offensive side of the ball. Give him the season. Give him the season. That's not saying you're tanking, but develop him. You bring in a coach that he's worked with before. You at least got to give him the season, and you need to shore up your D backs, your receivers, and your O line. Why are you even trying to churn over quarterbacks when you don't have all the pieces that a quarterback needs to be successful anyway? So at the very least, let Jalen be the crash dummy for the year. Don't bring more people into this dysfunction, is what I'm saying. Especially somebody that's going to, if we're going after a quarterback that we're drafting at number 6, the expectations of that player is that he's coming in to eventually be the guy. We don't need to deal with all that all over again. Yes, we need another quarterback. Yes, we need a solid second quarterback, but we need to let Jalen go ahead and see what he can do this season. Especially after getting off this roller coaster ride and waiting months before our quarterback that we had left, and really rebuild those skill positions that we need, because it really, it's at the end of the day, if your O line's not tight, you don't have the receivers that you need, you don't have the weapons,
Yeah.
and you didn't do your due diligence there, what's it gonna matter? You're just gonna
W-
piss off another quarterback.
Well, Nichelle, I'm gonna make it very simple. I'm gonna play this.
To the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no. Yeah, to the no.
Hell to
Hell
the
no.
no, no, no.
No, no.
Nah.
Listen, we need, we
Too
need,
much.
we
No
need
more
people that can
drama. You should have played
contribute.
No More Drama,
Yeah,
Mary J. Blige.
that's it. We need somebody that can contribute to the team this season coming up and the next season. We don't need that guy that needs to develop. We got that
That's
in
right,
Jalen Hurts.
Tony. That's
Jalen
right,
Hurts is going to
Tony.
be somebody that we have is going to be in the development stage who can be a quarterback that we're looking for. If you're looking for Justin Fields is nothing but an inch taller than Jalen Hurts. They're the same type of quarterback.
Hmm.
And the bad thing about it is that he ended up going to Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't put out good quarterbacks. Let's be honest. All right. With that being said, hell no. To the no, no, no.
All right, all right. Let me go to some
No,
comments. We just saw Tony Barron's comment up there, which
no, he's
Michelle
right.
agreed with.
He's right.
Think we need an experienced vet in free agency, happy to back up Hurst rather than pick up another rookie in the draft and cause another quarterback
That's
controversy.
right. That's right.
I do think that Jalen Hurts deserves 1 year to see if he's the guy. If he's not the guy, then hopefully with hopefully Wentz will bring back a number 1 instead of number 2 next year. And if that's the case, then we'll have 2 number 1s to move up and get our quarterback if Jalen Hurts, if we see this year that Jalen Hurts is not the answer. So I would say give him the whole year. I agree with that.
Put up Joe
Um,
Gunn's comment. I'm with Joe.
can we draft a
Yes,
GM?
yes, yes. What up, Joe?
What's up, Joe? Sue is advocating for Tyrod Taylor.
I'm not mad at
There's some
that.
free
I'm
Yeah,
not
agent.
mad
Nobody,
at that.
I'm not mad at Tyrod. I wouldn't be mad at Fitzmagic either. I wouldn't be mad at Fitzmagic. He's a free agent also.
nah, I don't want Fitzmagic. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. There's something about him when he gets around the team, he ends up becoming the starting quarterback, and he gets that swagger in him, and he think he's the next coming of John Montana, Tom Brady type quarterback. And next thing you know, the next game he comes down, he goes, into the cellar. I don't want that.
Well, you must be expecting to win the Super Bowl next year. That's what you.
Maybe
I
no.
mean,
I,
I go
I
in to
expect
be
us to win Super
competitive,
Bowl
but I'm
every year,
definitely,
every year.
I
I
do
am
too.
definitely
I
not.
can't lie, especially after what we
No.
pulled out in 2017. I feel like anything's possible if we just put the pieces to the puzzle together.
Anything's possible.
Everybody has a chance. Come on, Tampa. Tampa Bay came back, and Brady didn't even play good to the second
They
half
had
of
an
the year.
all-star team. You look
They
at the
did.
people
They
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 did
had
have all stars.
did, but they
Gronk.
also had an all-star coaching team. And
Yeah, they did.
at the same time, look at how the season went. They really didn't gel until it mattered. They peaked at the
You
right
know what?
time.
You could bring in Mitchell Trubisky as a backup
No,
quarterback.
no, I know. No,
No, you bring
I
in
don't even
somebody. You
like
bring in a
watching him
veteran free
play.
agent,
Yeah, I
and
do. I
that's
mean,
that's where the
I hear
that's
you.
where the quarterback competition. Because we've heard coming out of the building that there's going to be a quarterback competition and a tough one. So I'm foreseeing that they are going to draft a free agent veteran quarterback that
I'm
is
okay
going
with
to
that.
compete with Jalen Hurts. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, don't
Um,
waste my draft pick though. No,
right. Yeah, I hear you on that.
absolutely not.
Shoot, we need weapons, man. So if we, I take the wide receiver. I take Lamar Chase if he's available. I take him. If not, I definitely take the
How
cornerback.
about
I
Joe
want
Flacco?
I
playmakers. I
still
want
thought he's
playmakers.
local, Jersey, South Jersey,
Joe
South
Flacco.
Jersey. He could finish his career home,
Yeah,
help and
true
build
that.
up another
Jameis
quarterback.
Winston. Jameis Winston was a great
Okay,
backup
here we go. We
quarterback.
had Christopher Burton on the show one time. He was a guest shot taker of mine when I
Anything.
wasn't
That's
drinking,
right.
but he said anything's possible.
That's
And if
right.
you
What up,
missed that
Chris?
episode, you need to see that episode because Christopher
He's,
was toe down.
he's like,
He by
how
the
can
time
y'all
we got
guys
to the
do
third,
this?
by the time we got to the fourth shot, he was toe down. It was a classic. That was one of our classic shows when he was on there and he sat in for me and did shots for me. You got to go back and watch that. He was toasted at the end of that show, man. He went to overtime. He started doing shots by himself. Oh my god!
Yeah.
All
Stu
right,
has a good point. What Russell wants to be traded. You think he want to come to
He,
Philly?
he,
Him and
he listed
CC?
three teams. He
he
listed three
listed four
teams.
And
teams,
it
and one
wasn't
of them
The
us.
four
It
wasn't
was
teams.
they
us.
were
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
west, weren't they? Oakland. Who
It was
else?
Oakland,
The Saints,
Dallas,
Dallas.
Dallas.
Once he
the
He
said
put
Dallas, I
Saints.
said
Dallas
no.
over
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Mm,
I don't. We don't want him. Hey, come on, his
we
family's
don't want
from Virginia. He should want to be here on
And
this
Nah,
Chicago.
coast.
Did he put down Chicago? I think he put down
I
Chicago.
wouldn't
I
mind
don't know.
I
Chicago.
don't.
He's not going anywhere. Let's
I
stop
know they're
that right
not
now.
gonna
He's
let
not
him
going there.
go. I don't even know why
Tariq put
he.
up Mariota. I think Mariota has one more season with the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken, with his contract.
Mm.
Somebody said no, not Flacco. No.
Are we doing this fourth quarter, man? So I can take the shot.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's start this fourth quarter. You are watching Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We love our Philadelphia Eagles. That's why we're here in the off season, still talking about them. That's why we're here because we love them so much. But we like to talk about them, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. Nichelle and I have tapped out.
We're tapped
And
at.
we're letting the young buck have it. Young buck got it. He taking us the whole
He's still
program. Yeah,
tap
Pat.
in.
Yeah,
Little
Pat is
weights.
doing it. So Pat is doing the Jameson Irish whiskey. Please don't allow Pat to drink by himself. Someone please do a shot with him and let me know what you're doing out there. So I'm going to raise my glass of wine along with Nichelle, and you guys raise your shot, and we'll do a shot for the Philadelphia Eagles as we go into the fourth quarter here on Eagles Talk. Down the hatch for our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth.
Fourth and final quarter. There's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. Tell me in this fourth quarter. I'll give each of you guys a chance. What do you guys want to see? What's some of the moves that you would like to see happen in this offseason? What would I don't care if it's that sixth round pick being a cornerback or whether it's picking up J.J. Watt. What do you guys want to see happen this offseason? I'll start with ladies first.
Again, yes, I want to either a D back or a receiver at that number 6 pick. In the later rounds, I like to see them, go after some linemen as well as a linebacker, and even maybe another skill position that can be a threat on our special teams. We still need, there's still special teams where we can use to develop some speedsters as well. So, you know, and just make sure our lines are just secure. We keep talking about this, but look what happens when you don't even, if your second string line can't even play in playoff caliber. You saw what happened to Patrick Mahomes.
Hmm.
You win on the offense, you win this game with your offensive line. So we need to really address that. It's great we have Lane coming back, but we really need to address the fact that we have to shore up our line with some younger talent. And uh, Fletcher Cox, hopefully he be around. Hopefully, he could be a veteran leader and bring in some young guys. But we have to shore up our line, our D backs, and get some skill positions. I think we can pause on adding more to our quarterback controversy until next year, and just go look for a veteran to kind of fill that void right now. But that's what I want to see. I want to see our O line, our D backs, and our wide receivers stacked right now, and then start focusing on linebackers and D line.
And what about you, Pat?
You know what I'm gonna say? Draft either Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase in the first round. Move Zach Ertz for a higher draft pick, and come back and get a corner in the second round, get a linebacker. I like this guy out of LSU, Jabril Cox. You know, he's a hybrid type of outside linebacker that you can mix with Alex Singleton. Then you know, with the free agency, yes, we do need a solid backup quarterback. Everybody say bring back Nick Foles. That's not going to happen with the contract that he has, and with the amount of money we have to get rid of so we can be under the cap for this year. The salary cap it has increased between 185 to 190 million dollars, but we're still about 40 million.
Increase?
And it did go up a little bit for this incoming year. It will be increased between
Oh yeah,
185
yeah,
and
it did.
190. But
Oh
with that
wow.
being said, instead of us being $60 million over the cap, we're about $41 million over the cap, and that still can change between now and the time the league year starts. So we do need to get release some of these players. These going to be some very tough, difficult decisions in the future. We structure some of these contracts. Even though I say I really dislike Howie, he needs to go. One thing he does well here is take care the contracts well. The one crappy contract he did, it's costing us $33 million. That's the one crappy contract he did, but we all agree with it when it first happened. Uh, so I know he's a cap wizard when it comes to doing this cap and how he rolls, man. I need him to do it one more time before we let him go. Then we need to, you know, go balls to the wall and get some players. Get some guys that love to play this game of football. That's not going to sit there and be on Instagram and say, "Oh, look at me." No, some guys that wants to play football. And I means go after JJ Watt. Yes, I mean go after JJ Watt. That means if you can go try to get Allen Robinson. If you're able to get one of these free agent wide receivers like Allen Robinson and T.Y. Hilton, then you don't have to draft a wide receiver in that first round. You can go ahead and get that cornerback that you need or that middle linebacker that you need. But, but, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Everett.
Yeah, I see.
I know I'm being childish.
Well, we beat you with your cocks. All right.
See, Jabril Cox. Jabril Cox. He was the defensive player of the year for the subdivision of college football when he actually played in North Dakota State. Then he transferred to LSU and was still a very very productive linebacker with LSU. LSU is going to put together two guys that's going to go in the first 2 or 3 rounds. Their cornerback, Derek Stingley and Jabril Cox, they're going to go in the first 2 or 3 rounds. These are guys that we need to have on our team. They competed year round, even through pandemic. They played against top notch competition. We need to have these guys.
John
All right.
Batiste just broke it down for us. He
Yeah, let
got
me
it
go
all
to some
numbered.
comments.
He got it
O
Everett
line,
already.
says
O
He got
line,
it
O
O
line.
already.
line, O line, O line additions, linebacker and cornerback and safety, then running back. That's what he wants to see. Christopher Burton says, "Do y'all think we really need to bring back Singleton, the linebacker?"
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's cheap
absolutely.
and he
Yeah,
played good. Yeah, so
he sure
definitely bring
did,
him back,
especially
and he
second
should be
half of the
cheap.
season.
Yes.
He was
So
one of our best defensive. Him and Miles Sanders. I mean, Jalen Mills were our best defensive players this year. People might not think that Jalen Mills was a good defensive player. He was versatile. His ability to move from safety to corner
No,
helped us out a couple times.
yeah.
John Batiste says, number one, must use number 6 pick on offensive playmaker, Chase, Smith, or Pitts. Number 2, need the compliment for big play Slay. That's that corner that Nichelle
Mm.
wants. Number 3, quarterback free agency or fifth round or later in the draft. Um, yeah, I take that. That's we talked
Zoe
about that just
Collins is
about
going to be
in the
gone
last segment.
in the first
4,
round.
linebacker Zaven Collins from Tulsa is a sleeper. What do you think about that, Pat?
He's one of the
Um,
best linebackers coming out. He's going to be gone in the first round.
all right. Number 5, draft Jason Kelsey's heir apparent. That is a wonderful plan, um, and something to look forward to. All of them worthy suggestions for this team. Me myself, I think that I wouldn't. I mean, I love a playmaker at number 6, but I
Mm.
wouldn't be upset if we drop back a little bit and got an extra pick. Like we got number 9. Who's number 9?
I
Miami
think it's
or
my
Denver? Denver.
Denver. Denver's number 9.
All
Yeah.
right, so maybe Denver wants to jump up there and get a quarterback, and then somebody still on the board that they want at number 6. I wouldn't mind dropping back to number 9 and getting that extra pick because bottom line is we need players and we need a lot of them because there's not a lot on this team. So the more picks, the better chance you have at fulfilling those filling those holes with some of these younger players. We know that the biggest question mark is whether Howie Roseman can identify that talent and actually choose these players. We know that's the biggest question mark here, but you need more bullets in the gun. He needs all the
Mm.
bullets in the gun that he can get. So
He's
if
still going to miss
moving
the
back,
target.
yeah, he may
Right?
still miss the target, but give him more picks and he may
Oh,
do better
man.
with it. I think the higher the pick, the better chance he has of making a good pick because with the number 6 pick, you got there's only going to be 5 players out of 200 and something, 300 and something people gone at that time. You bound to pick a good player at number 6. So I
Hold on,
give
I
him
hope
Dante.
that.
the young
Dante.
coaching staff is assertive.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the youth is on our side as fans, that this young staff has their own ideas and opinions is what I expect from that generation. So
Yes.
I hope they're being assertive, and not just counting down to Howie.
Dante, I want to say this real quick. I know you got one up there, but you said Howie enough bullets in Howie's gun. Howie shoots like he's a stormtrooper. He can be point
He
blank
does. He misses. He
and
never
miss
hits anything. Never hits anything. You can run through the
Oh,
whole armada.
all right. Richard says Howie got pictures with Lurie with his pants down.
I believe it.
Um, Yender says Howie not good with Cap. He just kicks it down the road. That's why we couldn't get rid of certain players like Alshon.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. That's true there. Um, but this is what I want. The question was, what do I want to see in the offseason? What I want to see in the offseason is a lot of great young players added to this team, and the only way I see that being done is if the Eagles trade back a couple rounds and get an extra pick here and there. We know that Howie has questions with drafting high in the draft. Actually, he does better after like the second, third round. He does actually good. He does better with evaluating talent down the line. I mean, we got Mulata, Big V, and then they were later round draft picks. So he does good in the later round draft picks. We need him to hit on, let's say we need him to hit on a higher percentage than he has been hitting on in the past few years because he's been whiffing. Like if this was baseball, he's been
Swing and a miss.
swing and a miss. Yeah,
Do you
definitely
want me to
that.
go through it? Do you want me to go through it real quick? I can go through it real quick. All right, I can go through it real quick. 2019, first round pick was Andre Dillard. He's injured on IR, and he got his position took by the 2018 player Jordan Mulata. Draft Miles Sanders, which was a home run. Yes, you get
Right.
back up the bat. We need you to hit at least a bunt or get on base. You draft JJ Arthur-Whiteside. You draft Sharif Miller. He's a Penn State guy, but he didn't produce. You draft
Never.
Clayton Thornton.
Who?
Oh, he was a
Yes,
waste.
it was a waste
quarterback.
of a pick. He's
Clayton
he's a
Thornton.
quarterback from Northwestern. A waste of a pick. Didn't even play with the team.
He's working at the Walmart distribution center right now.
Oh, I think
believe,
I
if
saw
I'm
him the other day.
Yeah.
No, he went to Dallas. Yo, Dallas picked him up. He went to Dallas and he picked him up.
All right.
What
Well,
is
we
this?
keep Dillard.
We
All right.
getting
That's the
spammed.
end. That's somebody spamming. All right. Look, that was the end of the fourth quarter, man. So we have a lot of questions that are not answered, and we will see them hopefully be answered during this off season. There's a lot of work to be done. We hear the rumors about those that may be released, and I'm going to continue to tell you to be prepared for some of our old favorites whose name may show up on the waiver wire shortly, because we have to trim this cap down, and we don't know what direction this team is going in as far as this rebuild. So if it's a full strip down, we may see names like Fletcher Cox and BG on the waiver wire or in trade talks and stuff like that. So just buckle up and be ready, because Howie is still at the helm of this team here. As much as we don't like to see it, he's going to get at least this offseason, maybe even next offseason, because he's going through a full rebuild here. So Jeffrey may give him like 2 or 3 years to see if he can get this thing back on track. I know. Only way we're going to get Howie out of that seat is if Howie fails miserably, which I didn't even bring into the equation about how you want to see this rebuild done. But if he fails miserably, he's going to be out of here. He's going to be out of here, and we may have to strip this whole thing down. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned, and Eagles Talk, we will be here, and we'll talk about all of it, and we'll cover it all, because this is our favorite football team, and this is what we do. We don't have anything else better to do.
After these messages. Listen.
All right, guys, go watch the Sixers game. We should be halftime, so I
It's
should
halftime.
be able to
It's,
catch
What's the score?
the second half.
59-43 Sixers.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
we need this.
Here
We
they
need this
come.
game. All right, guys, go enjoy the game. We will be back next Thursday at 7 o'clock, same bat channel, same bat time. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight, for my co-host, Pat Sandlin and Nichelle. We're out of here. Peace.